So thanks for taking the time to speak to us today. It's also a very exciting time with the new initiative.
Yeah, it's probably been a long time coming for the club. So Preston Athletic, the senior club, as long as I've been at the club, we've never had our own youth setup or youth initiative. We do have a local youth club in Preston Pans, but there's no connection between both.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So we're looking to start our own early April, looking to kick it off. So yeah, it's an exciting time.
I saw from the club's statement on Twitter that they're looking to try and sort of bring a different approach to sort of grassroots football. I was just wondering if you could give us an insight into what it is that they're going to do and how it will differ from other football clubs.
Well, we're looking to obviously have our own coaching kind of platform. We want young coaches. That's the idea behind it. We want our under-20 players, our first team players involved in the coaching. We want local young people coaching. We want to provide a coaching platform for them to go and do that. We want a set structure, a set curriculum of what we're going to deliver, with focus being technical development, regardless of size, etc., and things like that. We want it to be as different as we can, and that's what we're working towards. We live in an area of deprivation, you could say, so
yeah.
That's another thing that we're taking into account. We want it to be as accessible as possible for our players, and ensure everyone's got the opportunity to play from a very young age.
Yeah. So how did the idea first come about? How did it all get first started?
So I run my own small coaching enterprise down here in Preston Pans, Impact Football, and I also am the under-20s coach manager at the club, and I've been with the club for around 3.5 years now. And it's something we've discussed on and off during my time at the club. So now with lockdown and things like that, we see it as an ideal opportunity to set this up, ready to go for when we're out of lockdown and grow it. It has to start somewhere. So we think now's the perfect time to do that.
Just a point that you made earlier about helping sort of people get into football in that particular area. You also, on the statement, talked about how you'll give kids a sort of pathway into East of Scotland first team, and I was just kind of wondering how will they progress up each sort of level and get to that sort of point? Like, how will the pathway work?
So the pathway, we do have the pathway. We've not released that yet. We do have it there. So the pathway will ideally work from 4 years old straight up to our first team, through various age groups, and within those age groups it will be split into 3 teams. This is obviously further down the line where we'd like to have our club, but at the moment we've not released that. But over the coming month or so, we're going to release little bits and pieces with the pathway and things like that to show that there's a clear pyramid to reach the first team level, and beyond that, get to the first team and then move on higher. We want to, as I said before, give young players the best opportunity to progress.
So you also just talked about there how you were planning on starting the initiative in April. Obviously, with the news today with Nicola Sturgeon delaying the lockdown till around towards the sort of middle to end of April, has it had any impact on trying to get the initiative up and started and getting people involved?
So if on our Twitter and Facebook, you'll see that we had an email address for registering interest. We've had a fair amount of interest. It's been really positive, and that's without an actual start date. We have an idea when the sessions will be, but if we need to change it, we're at the moment we're able to do so, even if that's still early May. It then gives us another 2 months of furthering the interest, and we're planning on having a Q&A. That'll be over Zoom, so that's another thing we're hoping to do, to keep it as interactive as we can.
Yeah.
And not just hide away behind the Twitter or Facebook. We want to be out there, face fronting with parents, with kids, and as I say, doing things like this is brilliant because we can explain the idea behind it, and so yeah. It's pretty flexible.
One of the points raised earlier about how it was quite an exciting initiative to get started in, helping bringing these players up from such a young age. I was also wondering, as it's a brand new project, what are your ambitions for it going forward? Where would you like to see it in the next couple of years?
The next couple of years, we'd love to have teams at all age groups, from U6 to U7 upwards, right through, all the way through, right up to U16, U17, and then into our 20s. That's the plan. That's what we want. We want a team at every age group representing the club. Again, that's why the club's got a different name, because there already is a club with that name. So I think it's a wee bit confusing, but that is what it is. So that's what we want. We want our own youth initiative there, and as I said before, the pyramids there, the pathways there. So a few years' time with like an age group, playing coached by young coaches who are passionate about the game, because I know from own experience, not everybody's going to play and reach the top of that pyramid, and there's other things in football, you know yourself, journalism, coaching. There's so much that goes with it. So that's the aim. We want to create a full, well-running club, to support our first team and 20s.
So just on that point, with the pathway in the next couple of years, are you planning to just build the club and let the academy up year by year? So starting obviously with the over sort of 4-year-old age, and then sort of build up from there.
That's a plan. We want to start young, and build it up the way. If we have players that are interested, who are older, and we have enough a cohort at that age, we'll ideally be in a position to run a team at that age, get sessions going. So yeah, we're looking to build on.
Thanks very much. Just on one of the other points, you spoke about earlier that you've had quite a lot of interest in the new initiative, and for anybody that might be listening to this who'd like to get involved, how would they go about contacting the club?
You can contact Preston Athletic directly, Preston Athletic Football Club directly on Facebook or Twitter. You can contact Preston 𝗵𝗵𝗲 on Twitter, and you can also email us, which has been the main source of contact, which is PrestonImpactFC@outlook.com. So just drop us an email with your name, age, and we'll get back to you straight away with all the details and things like that. So any questions, anything like that, just get in touch with us.
Cool. That's all the questions I have for you. Thanks very much for taking the time out to speak to me.
No worries. Thanks for having me on, Ewan. Appreciate it.
No,
Cheers.
Cheers.